Hi, welcome to my channel. During my last video, a vision struck me in the face with the idea to forge rings out of wool. I'll be using these needles I bought from Serafina, not sponsored. As you can see, they all have colored rings on them, and it comes with a little reference card telling you the gauge strength and what each needle's best at. Isn't that neat? And because I bought two, I taped the key to the outside of the bottle, making it a lot easier to reference. I want the rings to be as close to the size of my fingers, meaning the chances I'll stab myself have gone up 100-fold. So hopefully doubling up will minimize the damage. The needle I'll be starting with is the star. But wait, just how many rings am I making? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's right, 5 rings. For my first ring, let's build a bear. Wrap the wool as tight as a bear hug, because once I take the finger protectors off, it will still be loose, but we got a solid start. This is my first ring, so bear with me if it ends up not looking very good.
My preciouses.
Now that we have a giant chocolate Cheerio, we can give it ears. Make sure you entangle the wool so good that the ear won't be barely hanging on. Sorry, I know these puns are pretty grisly. I'm going to change the blue needle for the green to get a better blend. Oops, embarrassing. Once everything feels secure, smush the ring flat so we can start working on the bear's necessary necessities. I always get intimidated when it comes to the endless possibilities I can do for the details. Do I make the ears full circles, half domes, take out 1/18 of the circle? Lots of choices. So just pick whatever, and if you end up hating it when you look at it again, just know it's super easy to fix. I don't want to leave the back bare, so let's add a tail. You see what I did there? I made it sound like I said bear instead of bear. It's a double meaning. A humorous play on words. And that's where the comedy comes in. I'm using this dark brown for the line work instead of black to hopefully give it a softer look. When it comes to small details like this, a little goes a long way. Okay, this was another difficult decision. Do I put the eyes 4 millimeters away from the nose or 6 millimeters? I know it doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but it's huge.
That's what he said.
The other difficulty is trying to get everything symmetrical, and as you can see, I didn't. What I'm doing looks dangerous, but don't fret, the video is sped up and I'm actually going at a snail's pace. I hope my puns weren't too unbearable. I'll chill out with this next one, because we're making Ice King's crown. I thought this could be fun because once I stop wearing the ring, it becomes a tiny hat for my little tchotchkes. I didn't really run into any difficulties when making the crown. I just needed to make 3 triangles and 1 really long isosceles. We can now embed the jewels into the crown. The shape of the gem we're forming in the middle is called an elongated hexagonal gem. These stones came from the eyes of an ancient lava dog named Magwood. The reason they're in the crown now is because they were stolen by a wizard named Evergreen and his dino assistant Gunther. The last 2 gems on the side are shaped like tilted squares and aren't the source of the crown's powers. Only the gem in the middle is used alongside gems from other crowns to help unlock the true power of the Enchiridion. And now it's mine. Mine! Moving on to the ring that inspired me to make this video. I'm going to start by adding the nose so I have an idea where I want to place the eyes. For the color of the band, I wanted to go with a slightly tanner tone, but I didn't have any wool that looked natural enough except for this one. But it's a little too close to the color of my skin that from far away, it's gonna look like I have a growth. Let's add the eyes, which can be made in so many different ways. We got flat, we got 3D, big, small, eyelashes, no eyelashes. I'm feeling big, beautiful, bulbous eyes. Alright, next decision. Do I go with creepy, detailed pupils? Maybe some color. If so, what color? Beady, dilated, maybe both. With all those options, I just went with simple black dots. Now we can make 4 identical skin noodles. I didn't want to get too crazy with the length, but if I did, I would probably use pipe cleaners to make them a little more stable and bendable. Here are the other 3 noodles. Grab any 2 extremities, and with this black, or truly any color you want, make a flat oval that is hanging off the tip of the ankle to make a shoe. This is optional, and so is the color, but a fluffy sock felt like a fun detail that was missing. With that done, let's get to attaching. When it comes to the arms, I knew I wanted them to be over my finger when I put the ring on, but for it to appear that way, I have to put the arms so close to the eyes, so it kind of looks a little funny. And that is not what this is. This is serious. The legs, I had a harder time deciding if I should spread them out or keep them together. I went with the latter. Because the shoes are the only thing distinguishing the front from the rear, I'm gonna add something that I think will help fix that. To do that, I need this brush handle so I don't poke myself in the process of making these steaming hot buns. Now, I could be done, but again, it feels like something can be added. Something like leg hair. Now, I'm not gonna bore you and include me putting in every fur sprinkle, just a few so you get the gist. Let's take a break with a simpler ring, and one that also sparked inspiration for this video, a giant spike. Now, I had a difficult time deciding if I wanted to make a blade or a unicorn horn, but because I had decided on simple, I stuck with the spike. Maybe next time unicorn. There was never an exact height I wanted to reach. I was just thinking tall, and it came out to be about 9 inches. I wasn't able to think of a way to attach it without stabbing my fingers, so I brought out Randall the Handle. You know, on second thought, maybe it doesn't need a name. With everything attached, let's get edgy and add ruby red sludge dripping down the spike. A feature I have in mind with this ring is the ability to hold my earrings when my poor ears get too tired and they need a break from carrying them. With such a simple ring done, we can go back to self-improving hardships. And to start that off, we're making something I'm not good at, a star. They always come out uneven. Luckily, a kit I bought a while ago came with a bunch of stencils, and one has stars on it. I don't often use stencils, but with some work, it turned out better than what I could do freehand. Next, a big red snoot. Let's go with a silly little winky face. I went with dark brown again instead of black for the same reason I did it for the bear. I just wanted to give it a softer look. And with that being said, the dark brown ended up being too soft and blended in with the brown fur for the bear, so I went back and added black to make the eyes pop more. Next, a soft periwinkle to make a cute little triangle hat. Let's add some white polka dots to fill in the space. And an itty bitty pom-pom at the top that kind of looks like a cloud. When it comes to the placement of the hat, it should go on the opposite side of the star so everything doesn't look so bunched together. This pin will help secure it in the meantime. Moving on to this pretty lemonade pink, then splitting it into several slivers. Take one, fold it in half, and only felt the bend into the ring. To make sure the hair is secure, felt the front, middle, and back of the bend. Turns out I might have over-felted the base, and it ended up being a little more firm than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I'll take comfort in knowing it's not going anywhere. Alright folks, today we've got a lot of great pieces on the turntable here. Let's start with number 1. Wow, will you look at this brown? It is the brownest brown I've ever seen in my life. Now this ring can come in many different colors, like black, polar, and panda. Next is this gorgeous ring that is the most geometric ring I've ever seen in my life. And wow, can you believe it only cost your sanity? What a mind-boggling deal. Wait, what's this? Sorry folks, I'm getting word that it's already been bought by an archaeologist. Congratulations, that's so amazing for you. Now this is an absolute treat. This stunning ring has 2 arms, 2 eyes, 3 legs, and a nose. Eric here has 2 special features. The first is the ability to change his confidence depending on which finger he's on. The next feature is he can sit down. I've never seen so many features in my life. Breathtaking. Moving on to number 4. Now, I have been saying this all my life, but I'm gonna say it again. You are either a cone person or you're not, and that's okay. And I'm so excited to be showing off this amazing earring holder feature. Wrapping up with, oh my goodness, are you serious? Can we even be showing this? This is the zaniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Since the hair is so thick, I can't close my fingers, making the hair sort of act like a handlebar. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I came up with even more ring ideas during this that if I am gonna make them, I might make them into shorts, unless the ring is so complex that it needs to be a longer video. But I am already working on my next video and it's something I've never done before, so stay tuned.